On this Friday night, we begin with the rising cost of a spring tradition. Gas prices inching closer toward $2 a liter this weekend, as seen on that sign at the Cambridge en route a little earlier today, where a steady stream of drivers were filling up as they hit the road for the Victoria Day long weekend. And here's a live look right now at the 401 through Waterloo region. On this and many other highways tonight, thousands of people making their way to those long weekend destinations. Whether it's a cottage, a campground, or a trip to the city, the getaway that marks the unofficial start to summer. Good evening. Thousands of people are on the move across southern Ontario and central Ontario tonight. The unofficial start to summer also kicks off road trip season, a season that is coming at a much steeper price this year. Across the region, a litre of regular has been selling for more than $1.90 today, reflecting what's now the national average. We saw some places where it was $1.94 or higher. There are predictions that it could get even higher as we get deeper into summer travel season. We spoke with some people who were filling up today to see whether the prospect of even higher prices would affect their summer driving plans.
Yeah, it's definitely hindering my ability to do things a little bit. It would make it a lot more challenging, even though it already is quite challenging as it is now.
The car going to the beach takes premium, so it's even more expensive, and the answer would still be no, I'm not changing my plans.
Meanwhile, energy experts say the Iran war continues to rattle global energy markets, and if there's no breakthrough on ending the hostilities and reopening the critical Strait of Hormuz to more shipping traffic, they see prices continuing to climb into a new normal as early as next week.
Well, you ain't seen nothing yet, unfortunately. I believe every one of those prices will start with the number 2 next week and keep going up. Every indication is that supply of oil is very tight.
Linder says the ongoing supply disruption in the Strait of Hormuz has big oil companies bringing more oil out of storage, driving up prices for both oil and gasoline. All right, Ashley, those prices might not be numbers that we want to see, but I think the temperatures will be this weekend, and that's why you're joining us outside on the patio for our first look at weather on this long weekend Friday.
That's right, Tony. If we want to talk numbers, definitely pay attention to temperatures versus gas prices. It's a lot more palatable, and it was a beautiful end to the work week and start to the long weekend. The sun was shining throughout most of the day. We do have a bit of cloud cover right now, but things will start clearing up in the next couple of hours, and we're looking at a beautiful weekend ahead. Taking a look at our radar, you can see not a lot happening at the moment. Now, we aren't completely out of the woods when it comes to rain. We will see a little bit tomorrow in Waterloo region, but for the most part, we are expecting pretty sunny and clear conditions over the next 24 to 48 hours. We are going to see, the system kind of move through over the next day or so, but overall, it's not going to be too bad. As we get into what's happening right now, we are seeing temperatures still in the high teens. It's going to continue to be nice over the next few hours. Here we go. That's boards just taking its time there. A southerly wind at 22 kilometers an hour. So, Tony, overall, the place to be this weekend is right out here on a patio.
Sounds good, and we'll see even more sun as the weekend goes on. We'll talk to you later about the rest of those details. Ash, thank you so much. Word is spreading tonight about a plan to reopen the jail in Brantford. It's one piece of a bigger move by the province to address overcrowding in the jail system. And in Brantford, that means reversing a decision made almost a decade ago. CTV's Karis Map is live now, just back from the community with reaction tonight. Karis, what have you been hearing?
Tony, the residents I spoke with today say they believe the reopening of the jail will be a good thing for the community, with some people adding they don't believe it should have closed even in the first place.
I think it's great because we've got so many people and the court systems just don't know where to put them.
They need to open it because the crimes are getting worse everywhere in this city.
Conversation is circulating about the plan to reopen the Brantford Jail. Tucked behind Brantford Superior Court of Justice, the jail has been closed since 2017, a decision that some residents say they felt indifferent about at the time.
I didn't care one way or another. I wasn't involved in it. I was involved in other stuff, but I think it's good that it's being opened up.
When the jail closed, 77 inmates, along with staff, were all moved to other correctional facilities. But now the plan is to reopen it under a wider plan by the provincial government to increase jail capacity.
Ontarians can rest assured knowing that if you break the law, we will have room for you in our jails.
The plan is to add 2,500 beds across Ontario over the next 10 years and hire 700 new correctional officers. The jail plans include expanding and modernizing some facilities while reopening the ones in Brantford and Walkerton. Government data obtained through Freedom of Information laws shows, on average, there were more than 11,000 inmates inside provincial jails last year, about 2,500 more than the system's average capacity.
The province needs more prison capacity. And by being able to refurbish the Brantford Jail, we can do so at a reasonable cost.
Some Brantford residents telling CTV News they see this as a positive for the community, which they feel has seen too much crime.
I don't even go out after a certain time of night anymore because it's not safe. I don't understand why they closed it in the first place. Because it's costing people more money to transport them back and forth.
Prison transfers, waiting for court hearings, had to sit in vans until they could be seen instead of being held in holding cells at the jail.
And some also see the well-being of inmates as a factor.
A lot of people that were from Brantford were able to go into that jail and their families could go visit them.
The province plans to reopen the Brantford Jail sometime in 2028. The jail expansion plan will also cost taxpayers $3 billion. 250 new beds are expected to be added by November of this year. Tony.
Okay, Karis, thank you. CTV's Karis Map with the latest on Ontario's jail expansion plans. An ice cream heist at a business in Cambridge a couple of weeks ago is back in focus tonight as police share a picture of someone they'd like to talk to about it. These photos show what regional police describe as a person of interest in the theft at LA Frank's. It was during the early morning hours of May 3rd when the owner of the business says more than 25 tubs of ice cream were stolen, along with other merchandise and supplies. The theft is said to have cost the family-run business thousands of dollars. New action tonight to deal with concerns about speeding near a Waterloo elementary school. The city says temporary changes are on the way in the next few weeks outside Sir Edgar Bauer Catholic Elementary. CTV's Hannah Schmidt was in the neighborhood today and joins us live with more. So Hannah, why is the city acting so quickly in this case?
Well, Tony, officials say the area has already been flagged as a problem spot. Temporary speed humps will be going in shortly. It's welcome news to one Waterloo mother who calls this area notorious for problems, even starting a petition in hopes of getting people to slow down. The speed limit through this school zone near Sir Edgar Bauer Catholic Elementary in Waterloo is 30 kilometers an hour. But parent Melanie Ainsworth says drivers go far faster than that during pickup and drop-off times.
It really needs to get attention brought to it before something happens.
Ainsworth says she was picking up her children back in April when her vehicle was hit by another one right down the street.
There was a car parked here, right at the intersection, which kind of blocks your vision. I crept very slowly. I was just slightly in the intersection and I got hit by a vehicle. I'm so thankful it was my car and me and not a child that got hit.
She says the ordeal prompted her to launch a petition calling for better signage, flashing crossing lights, and more safety measures.
I started looking at a petition to get traffic lights, crossing guard, even have crosswalk signs here to let parents and pedestrians know that it's safe to cross and that hopefully cars slow down to realize that children are crossing in both directions.
The city of Waterloo says the zone was already flagged as a concern after a traffic review last year. There were plans to put a speed camera here before the province banned them.
So we need to look at alternative measures to slow down vehicles, especially in school zones where children are.
Now the plan is to put temporary speed humps here within weeks and more permanent traffic calming measures next year. 4 other school zones in Waterloo are also getting traffic calming features.
They're one of the best solutions to help mitigate driver speeds. And so the city's got an action plan to implement speed control measures such as speed humps in school zones throughout the city.
While some residents want flashing crossing signals, the city doesn't think they're needed here.
traffic signals are not a very good measure for slowing down vehicles. In fact, our research and investigation into it has indicated that speeds will go up.
Ainsworth says the goal is simple: slowing drivers down before someone gets hurt. Ainsworth says she plans to bring her petition to council as she continues pushing for stronger temporary and permanent safety measures near the school. Tony.
Okay, Hannah, thank you. CTV's Hannah Schmidt with that report. Ontario's top court has dismissed an appeal by former fashion mogul Peter Nygard. That upholds the sexual assault convictions and sentence for Nygard, who was given 11 years in prison, working out to nearly 7 years after factoring in time served before and during trial. Multiple women accused Nygard of sexually assaulting them at his company headquarters in Toronto. His lawyers argued that his sentence was excessive and that the trial judge made several errors. A 3-judge panel dismissed his appeal. And a landmark ruling from the Supreme Court of Canada today recognizing intimate partner violence as its own legal basis to sue for civil damages. That ruling was centered on the case of a woman who was abused during her 16-year marriage, and it paves the way for financial compensation beyond assault, battery, and emotional distress. CTV's Adrienne Gobriel explains.
I found myself in a very bad predicament.
At 17, Wendy Butler says she thought she'd met her Prince Charming, though for nearly 2 decades, she says she was trapped in an abusive relationship.
I didn't tell anyone because of shame. It took me a long time to leave.
What the mother of 2 says she experienced went beyond physical bruising.
The abuse that I endured, it was physical, emotional, and psychological. And I lost myself.
Today, Canada's highest court ruled in favor of creating a new tort of intimate partner violence. A tort is a legal term for a civil claim that allows a person to seek damages after being harmed.
The law already gave victims the ability to seek redress for physical assault and for sexual assault.
This new tort recognizes that intimate partner violence isn't always physical or sexual.
Coercion and manipulation, humiliation, isolation.
As part of Justice Nicholas Kazirur's 200-page ruling, the case briefing outlines that a victim must show that their partner intentionally engaged in abusive conduct and that the conduct amounted to coercive control when viewed in context.
Today's a big day.
It is a very big day.
For survivors who can now seek justice after years of being controlled, confined, and psychologically harmed.
There have been few, if any, decisions in my 25-year legal career that has been as consequential to the field of gender-based violence as this one today.
If there's someone watching right now who's in a violent relationship, what would your message be to them?
There's hope. There's a chance for new beginnings.
This new legal pathway for survivors will develop and evolve in the courts over the years and decades to come. Many hope it will also drastically decrease intimate partner violence and abuse of all kinds. Adrienne Gobriel, CTV News, Angus, Ontario.
A reminder to start your day with the CTV Kitchener newsletter. You can sign up for a daily email from our team, which will include a look at the day's top stories, the latest weather forecast, and some must-see videos. You can sign up for the newsletter over at ctvnewskitchener.ca. A Born in Waterloo region plan that could bring a major shift to screening for women's health issues. Just ahead, CTV's Colton Weens takes us into the lab where work is underway on a non-invasive method to screen for serious concerns.
Well, temperatures will continue to rise over the coming days, but we will see a little bit of rain tomorrow. Just how much and when it's expected, those details with your full forecast coming up. Stay with us.
Download the CTV News app and stay on top of local stories as they unfold.
We go to a dramatic scene unfolding.
Customize your feed and watch live wherever you are. ctvkitchener.ca, your home for news. When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400. From your screen to ours. Text 10400.
A Waterloo Region tech startup is aiming to improve screening for some of the most common women's health problems. They're working on a non-invasive way to collect biomarkers for early signs of things like cervical cancer and HPV. CTV's Colton Weens visited their labs today to find out more.
This is our product. Slap it on here.
In this University of Waterloo lab, work is underway on a technology that could replace the need for invasive pap smears.
Basically making it so that the people who can't get pap smears or who won't get pap smears are still able to get life-saving screening.
Select Laboratories is working on embedding nanomaterials that could collect diagnostic biomarkers from menstrual blood, hoping it can change the way women are screened for HPV, cervical cancer, and other DNA-based diseases.
We use a patent-pending nanomaterial that passively collects and stabilizes the genomic DNA within menstrual blood while allowing the blood cells, which are considered contamination for a lot of these tests, due to the hemoglobin, to go through, basically collecting the larger cells of interest and the genomic DNA.
Murphy says for many people with the cervix, the fear of getting a pap smear can keep them away from ever getting screened, which could save their life.
Honestly, I hated it. It was really, really bad for me for various reasons. And because of that, I decided to put my nanotechnology engineering degree to use and came up with the idea and founded Select.
I mean, the speculum is a horrible, archaic device that is not made for comfort. It's painful and scary, and if there's any sort of trauma or diseases hanging around, that might make it more painful. I know a lot of people do worry about getting it. I am almost 22 and I've never had a pap smear. Hopefully with this technology, if it gets far enough along by then, I'll never have to get one, and I think that would be amazing.
So far, they've focused on placing the technology on menstrual pads or using menstrual cups, hoping to eventually have a way that works with tampons. But with the right funding and approvals, they believe it could hit the market soon.
I'll say anywhere from 1.5 years to 2 years from now would be the earliest. Just, I mean, as a medical device, this is something that's regulated, and so we want to make sure that, you know, it's safe and, you know, effective.
In theory, it absolutely is, because of the material we're using. Has been, you know, used in food-safe stuff, but, you know, obviously we need a lot more like clinical studies and feasibility studies to make sure.
The University of Waterloo startup recently won a national student entrepreneurship competition and will compete globally for a $1 million prize.
To any woman who is watching, we're doing this for you. I also want to highlight that if you have an innovation in your mind, don't hesitate. Women's health needs the attention that it deserves, and we're just happy to be on this journey.
Colton Weens, CTV News, Kitchener.
10 people in Ontario are being tested for Hantavirus despite not having any symptoms. They have connections to a cruise ship which was hit by an outbreak. Ontario's health ministry says there are 3 high-risk travelers, including 2 who were on the vessel and 1 who was on a flight with someone who died from the disease. They will keep isolating regardless of their test results. The other 7 are low-risk contacts who can stop isolating if they test negative. Well, another live look outside now at a very busy Highway 401. This is looking east toward Cambridge, toward the Highway 24 exit, in fact, from Speedville. And it's going to be a busy, busy weekend on the roads, but it's going to be a pretty nice weekend for whatever you're planning for your destination, at least if it's in southern Ontario. Ashley's back with the forecast in just a few minutes. Also ahead, smart beach technology. What's coming to the shores of Lake Huron this summer to try to make things safer for swimmers. But next, more on a big deal between Alberta and Ottawa, paving the way for a new pipeline. Well, Ashley's here now with our long weekend forecast, a time that so many people have been looking forward to. I mean, yeah, Easter, I guess, was just over a month ago, but that period between these 2 holidays always feels so long.
And it was cold this year. We don't normally have temperatures as low as we had for as long as we had.
That's right.
And so to see this switch happen, which will happen really tomorrow, we've started to see it
Tomorrow's
today.
our transition day.
It's the transition day. Today was beautiful, but as you just saw, a light jacket is needed out there for some. I'm one of those people that feel the cold, so I needed a little jacket this afternoon.
It was a little cloudier than I expected today, but I guess that is slowly going to change, and by the end of the long weekend, gorgeous, right?
Gorgeous,
Is that a good summary?
It is indeed, and that is the cloud cover you're talking about there,
That's it.
Tony. We are seeing a little bit of that overcast. Now, that's expected to break up in the coming hours, and we're going to have a pretty clear night. We might have, of course, a cloud or two, but overall conditions clearing through the overnight hours, so we should wake up to some sunny conditions, but we will see a little band of precipitation tomorrow. Let's get into our futurecast and get into what you can expect. So we are seeing this little bit of not precipitation, rather cloud cover right now. That's moving out of our region. Now, by the time we wake up tomorrow morning, it will be nice and sunny. So we are going to see, though, another band of rain bring with it around the lunch hour. We could see it heavy at times, potential for a thunderstorm, but it's not going to last very long. Essentially, from noon to 4 p.m. is the risk window. We aren't going to necessarily see rainfall that entire time, but the temperatures are going to also be on the rise. Once that pushes through, then the warm front is here, and we will round out that weekend with some very favorable conditions. Right now on the west coast, it is raining. Prince George, Vancouver, Victoria, Edmonton, all seeing rain this hour, and cooler temperatures around 9 degrees in Victoria and Vancouver. As we move through the prairie provinces, also seeing cooler temperatures today than yesterday. Rain in Saskatoon and 3 degrees, -1 in Thompson. Winnipeg was at 26 this time yesterday, just 17 there, but 17 and sunny, not too bad. As we move further east towards our nation's capital, Montreal sitting at 18 degrees, a mix of sun and cloud. Quebec City, similar conditions there as well. And on the east coast, 4 for St. John's and cloudy. Corner Brook seeing a little bit of sunshine and 9 degrees. Right now in the Waterloo region, 16 degrees, but there is a little wind out there. So like I said, a little jacket goes a long way this hour. Windsor, though, still sitting at 21, so very warm indeed. Overnight tonight, we're expected to dip to around 7 degrees, which is where we should be for this time of year. Partly cloudy conditions. Now, tomorrow, temperatures on the rise once again. We're expecting a daytime high of around 20 and that risk of an afternoon thunderstorm right around the lunch hour. Hopefully, by the time everyone, gets up in the morning, they see the sun for a few hours, they can take a break from outside for a couple of hours, and then the rest of the weekend, beautiful. Just pointing out here, back in 1920, we reached an overnight low record of -2.2. So we are definitely seeing better conditions than that. As we take a closer look at our long-range forecast, starting in Waterloo region, check out Sunday and Monday, Tony. 23 and sunny expected for Sunday, 29 on Monday. So what a way to finish out the long weekend. It will be a beautiful one. I know I'm going to spend some of it putting my patio together and hopefully spending most of my time out there. In Lambton, Kent, Essex, you might also see a thunderstorm tomorrow, a high of 25, 23 for Sunday, and then 31 for both Monday and Tuesday. That is summer, not spring, in my opinion. And then lastly, southern Georgian Bay. You're going to have a bit of a cooler start to your weekend, 8 with a chance for showers for your Saturday, but Sunday, really nice. Monday, 28 degrees. Not too bad. Okay, let's take a look at today's Weather Watcher picture sent in from Denise, who snapped this photo north of Stratford a few days ago as the sun fought the clouds to make an appearance.
I always love when it does those those rays, those glowing rays.
I was just going to say, it's raining rays.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
It is. It is. Okay, so as far as the long weekend goes, Ash, it looks like Monday is the real winner.
Monday is going to be the highlight day of the weekend.
Kind of nice because it's the holiday.
Absolutely.
And most people
take advantage of it.
Most people getting to enjoy that as well. So that we'll take it. Better late than never.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Ash.
Thank you.
CP Rail has been cleared of all responsibility in the deadly train derailment and explosion in Lac-Mégantic, Quebec, which killed dozens of people back in 2013. A train carrying oil tankers derailed, and the ensuing explosion destroyed downtown Lac-Mégantic and killed 47 people. The train was owned by the Montreal Main and Atlantic Railway, and the tracks were part of the CP network. The victims, families, and other groups were trying to sue CP Rail and had appealed to the Supreme Court. But the court refused to hear the appeal and said 2 lower court rulings should stand. A major agreement's been reached between Ottawa and Alberta on carbon pricing, which paves the way for construction of a new oil pipeline as early as 2027. It's a big move that could improve political relations, but there are still questions about the environmental impact and how that'll play out across the country. CTV's Abigail Beeman reports.
This is a big step forward in Ottawa-Alberta relations with commitments for both the pipeline and lower carbon pricing.
This gives industry the time and certainty needed to plan, invest, and deliver real emissions-reducing projects without undermining competitiveness.
Alberta is pitching this as a big win, both in terms of major savings for the oil industry and progress on its long-standing push for a pipeline to the west coast to reach Asian markets. The new deal signed between the province and Ottawa puts the effective carbon price at $130 a ton by 2040 instead of 2030. Alberta plans to submit its pipeline proposal to the Major Projects Office by July 1st, and Ottawa commits to naming it as a project in the national interest by October, then work to greenlight construction by September 2027. Alberta wants to see oil flowing no later than 2033-34, but there are outstanding issues. All this is promised alongside consultations with Indigenous peoples, some of whom are vehemently opposed. There is no private proponent yet to pay for it, and the Prime Minister maintains no pathways, no pipeline, meaning the carbon capture project known as Pathways, yet the deal doesn't lay out any conditions for that to be built before or alongside a pipeline.
Coming together, making an agreement, moving forward, creating a better future for our kids and grandkids, including, I strongly going to stress this, including with respect to the environment.
And on another topic, electricity, today's deal builds on the Prime Minister's promise yesterday to loosen Trudeau-era clean electricity regulations by basically removing them for Alberta. That's all within the larger goal of doubling Canada's electricity capacity by 2050. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
Just ahead, making sure it all adds up for grilling season. CTV's Pat Foran helps sort through some barbecue best practices to make sure you are summer ready, even in these tougher economic times.
A Day is back on 105.3 Virgin Radio. Listen to Jeff KP and Backstage Ben for your chance to win $5,000 every weekday. 5K a day. Virgin Radio.
With the price of a good steak or any kind of barbecue item these days, the last thing you want to do is burn it. Your barbecue may need a good once-over before you begin grilling for the season, and depending on the shape it's in, it might be time for a new one. CTV's consumer reporter Pat Foran has more.
Jo Hill-Ross felt it was time for her family to get a new barbecue.
We've been having trouble with the igniter. It won't light.
If you're using your gas grill for the first time this weekend, you'll want to make sure it's ready for another season.
This is a really good time of year to open up the grill, check out what it's been through over the winter, and give it a good wipe down.
If you didn't give your barbecue a good cleaning when you put it away for the fall, you may have some work to do.
Maintaining your grill is about more than just keeping it looking nice. It can actually make it safer and work better too. Things like failed igniters, leaking gas line, or a clogged burner are all typically things that you can fix, but they're also a big problem if you let them go unchecked.
To check your gas line for leaks, connect the propane tank, open the valve, and use a mixture of water and dish soap on the gas line and other parts. If you see any bubbling, that could mean you have a leak. You may need a new tank or replacement hose.
Make sure spiders haven't built webs inside of it over the winter, because if they have, lighting the grill can cause those to ignite.
Next, fire it up and check the burners. Yellow or uneven flames usually means a clogged burner. Turn off the gas and try cleaning the holes with a toothpick. Once the grill has cooled, if that doesn't help, you can replace the burners. If the igniter is clicking slowly, not at all, or not lighting the grill, it may need a new battery or have corroded contacts. If repairs are starting to add up, or if there's a safety issue, you may want to consider replacing your barbecue.
A lot of things can be fixed on a grill, but generally big problems like a rusty firebox mean it might be time to get a new grill entirely.
This Napoleon gas grill aces all of Consumer Reports tests, plus people who own it say they would recommend it to their family and friends. When cleaning your barbecue grates, don't scrub them with a wire brush. The small, sharp bristles can break off and stick to the grill racks and then to your food. If swallowed, they can cause serious harm.
That was CTV's consumer reporter Pat Foran. And if you're looking for some fresh ideas to grill up this long weekend, we've got you covered too. Emily Richards joined us a little earlier on CTV News at 5. You can watch the full video and get her suggestions for grilling over at ctvnewskitchener.ca. Well, it's time to update our top stories. Alexandra Hollick live in studio with the latest on the long weekend exodus on our roads. Alexandra, it's a tradition that this year is certainly coming at a higher price.
Tony, gas prices are inching closer towards $2 a litre, and there are predictions it could get even higher the further we get into summer travel season. Across Waterloo region today, a litre of regular has been selling for more than $1.90, reflecting what's now the national average. Analysts say the ongoing supply disruption in the Strait of Hormuz keeps driving up prices. We're hearing more from residents in Brantford tonight about the province's plans to reopen the Brantford Jail. It's one piece of a bigger move by the Ford government to address overcrowding in the jail system. The Brantford Jail was shut down nearly a decade ago, and it's expected to reopen sometime in 2028.
And looking at what our digital team has online, Alexandra, as we head into another long weekend, this is some news you can use. The do's and don'ts of fireworks, because there are always all kinds of complaints about this.
That's right, Tony. When and where they're allowed, where they're not allowed as well, where fireworks are also allowed to be sold. We have a full list of the rules for Waterloo region and surrounding areas. You can find it by scanning the QR code on the bottom left of your screen to get the story on our CTV News app. You can also visit our website, ctvnewskitchener.ca. Lots of fireworks, I'm sure, will be out this weekend, Tony.
They will, and there's a lot of info to sort through as well. Important to know. Alexandra, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, the World Cup is less than a month away, and Dane St. Clair is battling to be Team Canada's #1 goalkeeper. CTV's Omar Sachedina spoke with him about how playing with one of the world's best has helped him get ready to play on the global stage.
Saved by St. Clair. St. Clair with another really good block. St. Clair with his biggest save of the night.
Qatar 2022, and now Dane St. Clair is about to represent Canada again in his second World Cup.
That is a great save by Dane St. Clair.
But there's still a big unknown whether he'll be starting in goal.
It's a team, and we want to do what's best for our country and put the guys out there that the coach thinks and believes in that can do the job. And of course, I think that's myself, but at the same time, respecting the coach's decision.
Dane St. Clair with a magnificent save!
Born in Pickering, Ontario, the 29-year-old now plays for Inter Miami.
Obviously, playing on such a global stage and a global team, I think is really preparing me for such a global tournament this summer, and it was a large part of the reason why I decided to go there.
The pressure here, Lionel Messi.
It also happens to be the home of soccer great Lionel Messi, who went from taking shots on St. Clair to joining forces with him.
Over to the far side, it goes. Messi the ball!
What's that like? I mean, is it daunting, or have you just sort of accepted the fact that he's just part of the team? You got to approach it that way.
No, I think you got to approach it like he's a part of the team. Of course, he's the greatest to ever play, but to be able to kind of put myself in front of that and to be able to challenge myself on a daily basis, I think only makes me better.
He's grown a lot since he went pro, selected by Minnesota United in 2019 and rising through the ranks to become the 2025 MLS Goalkeeper of the Year.
It's De Rosario, it's saved!
The son of a Trinidadian father and a mother with roots in Scotland, he grew up with the game.
Are there divided loyalties?
Yeah, I'm sure my family over there will be cheering for Scotland. I remember when Trinidad made the World Cup, like, I felt like I wanted Trinidad to do so well at it. Obviously, Canada wasn't in it at that time, but I think anytime you have multiple countries that you feel a part of, you want all those teams to be successful.
A diplomatic answer, but for him, only one choice.
What do you think it's going to be like to be able to play on home soil?
A dream come true. Anytime you get the opportunity to wear the maple leaf on your chest, there's always a lot of pride and passion, and you're always playing and fighting for something that's way bigger than you, and to be able to kind of do that and look around the stadium and see so many Canadians cheering us on and wanting to do well, but also to show the rest of the world who we are.
A message he'll soon take to the pitch and share with the world. Omar Sechdina, CTV News, Toronto.
Well, the Toronto Blue Jays will be looking for a second straight win tonight when they begin a series with the Detroit Tigers.
Another 2-2 pitch, and it's hit to deep left field. It's carrying. It's gone.
And the Jays have certainly got some momentum on their side from that walk-off win over the Tampa Bay Rays on Wednesday. Treya Savage gets the start tonight. First pitch set for 1 minute from now in Detroit. And in the NHL, the Montreal Canadiens will look to advance to the Eastern Conference Final this weekend. The young team took a 3-2 series lead against the Buffalo Sabres with a decisive Game 5 win. And helping propel the team's success is St. John's, Newfoundland native Alex Newhook, who is from a family where hockey is business. CTV's Garrett Barry explains.
Montreal's Stanley Cup push has transformed Maverick Sports and Collectibles in downtown St. John's into a sea of red. And taking center stage, Alex Newhook's number 15. If you want one of these, act quick.
We just had 3 come in and 2 of them went right away. We've got 1 left here now, but we're sending some up to get done every day pretty much now.
Newhook's playoff success has launched him to a new level.
All of a sudden, Newhook is Guy Lafleur.
5 goals so far in the series against the Buffalo Sabres and the Game 7 winner against the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Right place at the right time has a lot to do with hockey IQ. And he's always been a very, very smart hockey player.
Development coach Andrew Piercy has worked with Newhook. He says his sudden breakout is no surprise. And that's not the only Newhook he's taken under his wing. Sister Abby Newhook just finished her rookie season with the Boston Fleet of the PWHL. She was a 5th-round draft pick, but her 7 goals and 7 assists placed her 5th in rookie scoring this year.
Most of the time, those types of players don't get as many looks, but she had such a great training camp and then parlayed that into a great season.
Maybe they got her from their dad, Sean, a skilled player himself.
We kind of joke about, was it in the food? You know, I think it took a lot of everything. It took a lot of hard work and determination.
For the Newhook parents, it's been a busy spring, both children competing in their league playoffs.
We have been following the kids around, and yeah, it's been super fun just being a part of it and being able to experience it with them. It's been great.
A whirlwind, flights, games, and hundreds of texts after a goal, but all worth it to see their son shine during these Stanley Cup playoffs. Garrett Barry, CTV News, St. John's.
Later on CTV News, redefining an album release. Toronto's Drake has the city in a frozen trance with his latest public spectacle. New technology has been introduced at Kincardines Beach meant to improve safety. The shoreline has seen its share of tragedy over the last 2 decades, including 6 reported drownings blamed on serious rip currents. As CTV's Scott Miller tells us, some new devices are aiming to give more people a warning that could be critical.
A new system to warn beachgoers of unsafe swimming conditions is being installed on Kincardines' public shoreline.
We've had a really tragic past in Kincardine where people have lost their lives because of really dangerous currents, and this will hopefully keep people safe so that when the conditions change, they can pause and take a moment to think about whether or not they should go into the water.
6 people have drowned and 7 more people have almost drowned in the waters off the coast of Kincardine since 2008. In a search for beach safety, Kincardine has created a 200-meter no-swim zone south of the town's pier where many of the drownings have occurred, while adding more life-saving equipment to the beach and piers. But the first smart beach light ever installed in Canada is really the centerpiece of Kincardin's push towards shoreline safety.
This is actually a first of its kind in Canada, where we're working with the University of Waterloo and the municipality of Kincardine to develop a custom model for this beach in particular, and then as the conditions change, the light will change.
Real-time data from buoys off the coast of Kincardine measuring wind speed and direction along with wave strength are combined with predictive modeling captured through 2 summers of studying Kincardine's water patterns and currents to automatically change the traffic lights to let beachgoers know if it's safe to go in the water or not.
Red light, high hazard, yellow light, medium hazard, and green light, low hazard. If I wasn't even from around here and I came down to the beach and I saw a red light, I'm going to think twice about going in the water.
This light is not driven by somebody making a decision. This light is driven off of a model. And that's the first time that that's been done in Canada, where they took the weather information for a few years, collecting it here at Station Beach with the University of Waterloo, and turned that into a model of our beach, so that as the weather is changing, that model is determining what is the red, the yellow, and the green.
Kincardin's smart beach light will be operational at least by June 12th. That's when they're going to have a ribbon cutting and a grand opening, essentially. And some of the families of the drowning victims here in Kincardine will be here to mark the occasion as well. In Kincardine, Scott Miller, CTV News.
Well, a great use of technology in a busy place. Ash, I'm sure whether it's Kincardine, Grand Bend, there will be some beaches where there will probably be some folks out dipping their feet in the water this weekend, later on the weekend anyway.
Oh, Tony, I think I might have to pull the paddleboard out for Monday because it is going to be beautiful. Tomorrow morning will also be a great start to that Saturday. Those details just after this break. Stay with us.
Bounce 99.5 has the music you just can't quit. Home of Bounce Mornings with Angie Hill and Sarge. KW's Bounce 99.5. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app.
You need to know what we were discussing during the break. And I've never thought of this debate before. When it comes to wings, saucy or dry?
Ooh, I like saucy wings.
Yeah?
Personally.
There is something good about those like cracked pepper and sea salt ones, though, with garlic or whatever.
Or even a lemon pepper.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell we're hungry, folks?
Oh, it's dinner time. Yeah, we've got our appetites. And we're hungry for some good weekend weather, too, and we're going to get it.
Absolutely. Let's take a quick look at our wake-up weather board, Tony, because we are going to start the day off beautifully. Sunny conditions for your morning. 17 by 10 a.m. sounds perfect. Now, we will see a system roll through the lunch hour, so don't be surprised if you get a bit of rain. Make sure you have an umbrella handy because it is going to happen. We could at times see a thunderstorm, but the good news is it's not going to last long and the skies will clear by the late afternoon.
Love it. That sounds like a good recipe to take through the weekend.
Yeah, a little warm here, a little chilly in Toronto.
Right. And that's a good segue because finally tonight, the album release that had a city buzzing with some pretty dramatic events. Drake putting on another spectacle, and some say raising the bar for how artists are sharing new music.
CTV's Michelle Dubé has all the details for us.
Toronto's most iconic landmark got an icy makeover as Drake used his hometown as a backdrop to roll out long-anticipated new music.
I'm tuned in. I'm already tuned in. One earphone's in, the other one in. Listening all day, man. We love Drake.
Following day-long speculation, hundreds gathered at the base of the CN Tower, not knowing what they were in for. This fan rushed in from the U.S.
It's going to be iconic. You already know anytime Drake does something, he does it big. He runs this city. We all came out. Drake runs this city. I just want to be here. I want to meet the guy.
The build-up for Drake's Iceman album has been extensive, from iced-out chairs at the Raptors game to the unveiling of the release date hidden inside an ice sculpture that sparked a frenzy and international attention. Culminating in this big moment, dozens of projectors creating the illusion of a tower encased in ice.
Say, bro, we love you, but all my words really...
The spectacle in the six unfolding on a live stream.
It was like...
With cameos from comedian Shane Gillis and Drake's son, Adonis. Full of scenes, the famous rapper had been spotted shooting all around the city, including the explosion that sparked backlash. The 39-year-old is one of the world's most streamed artists, has a key to the city, and with permission from City Hall, got to sport the chain of office in the mayor's office and shoot in council chambers. The city releasing a statement to assure the public a staff member was on site during production. Drake even leaving a note for the mayor that reads, "Thank you to my Crody, Crolivia Chow," signed the Iceman.
I get a little bit emotional, you know. He's done so much for the city.
Fans overwhelmed by the experience. The White House even putting their own spin on Drake's album rollout, posting this on X. But even those who think it's all a little much were treated to a free fireworks display to cap it all off. And a midnight surprise, not one, but 3 new albums dropped. Call it a stunt, call it a spectacle. The icy rollout, certainly hard to miss.
You know, in an era where branding is everything, and it's typically, you know, like an online channeling of that, what was interesting about this was seeing such an in-person component to all of this.
Absolutely. Talk about soundtrack for the summer.
Yeah.
way to set up the summer.
And it involves ice.
Yes.
Who knew?
Yeah, keeping things cool.
Well, I hope you have something icy, perhaps an icy beverage this weekend, once the weather gets a little warmer. Ash, things in bloom.
Beautiful. Finally, as you said, things will continue to be nice after about 2 p.m. tomorrow, let's say.
Good to know that timeline.
Yes.
Spring is late to its own party, but it has shown up nonetheless.
Woohoo.
And we're going to get a nice long weekend out of it.
I can't wait.
Alexandra Hollick will be here with your next local news tonight at 11:30. That's right after the CTV National News. But from us, have a great long weekend. Good night.